I'm Paul Harvington, and this is your capillary electrophoresis training video for CHE-115. This is our system here on the left. That's instrument 2, the old one. That's instrument 1. We do not use that. I always use this. So I've already got the system up and running. You want to have the system on, and then you launch the software. Same when you shut it down, you exit the software, then turn it off. This one's a little more forgiving than some of the other Agilent instruments. And so down here, this is where instrument 2 is. And if it's open, you obviously open it. Launching it while it's already open puts it in an infinite loop. So I've already got the lights going. You switch the UV light on here via a right click. I have flushed it. We would do that here. We can raise and lower the lifters by set inlet vial or unload it, or set outlet or unload it. I've already done that. I've got buffer A in here where it's going to validate it. I just ran a sample, and so you can see it looks like caffeine's eluting at about 1.8 minutes, 1.9 minutes. What's the next page say? Looks like 1.81, yeah. So I want to see what the power looks like. It didn't look like it was doing so good, but this is going to be a good training. So let's go ahead and start. So up here in the upper right under run control, sample info, I've made the directory for Winter 22. You'll want to make some subdirectories for your sections, maybe just put AO1, AO2 or whatever. And then the prefix, I'm doing val 2. This is my second validation effort. Traditionally, the caffeine sample starts in vial 4. I have a super concentrated caffeine sample there, okay? So I could click run method here, or I could click OK. I also want to point out that I'm in single sample mode versus sequence mode. And so since I'm in single sample mode, or sequence, I could just hit this. This would say sequence if I was in sequence mode. And so you saw everything was green. Now we got some purple and blue. Blue means running. Purple is a pre or post injection sequence event going on. And so we're obviously going to start injecting. I'm going to lower this window here just a little bit. And so some people like to enlarge this up a little bit, and I'll do that. And then I'll just move the DAD over. So the DAD I've got dialed in about -50 to 200, and then 180 to about 420. That way I see a little on each side of it. To get that, it's under view and then online signals, and it's actually Spectra. Signal would be this one, okay? So boom, here we just injected. You can see we've got a little bit of current leakage. It's just a few microamps. When was the last time I maintained this thing? It looks like it's due. It was last year that I performed the maintenance on it. Now what I want to point out here, and I'm going to have to minimize this guy a little bit, is the black power. We see the red, we're making a circuit. We got some power here. I'm just barely seeing any color here, and that's not good. That might indicate we have a cracked capillary. It was saying 1 milliamp earlier, and caffeine eluted. See, now it's 1 microamp. So it's possible the buffer is no good. So I'm going to be pitching this buffer and trying again. But nonetheless, this still serves to show you how to perform this experiment. So we're getting pretty close to the caffeine coming out, and what's cool using this DAD is right at the apex of the peak you see the UV vis spectrum, and you got to watch it because it goes by pretty quick. I could probably lower my upper limit here too a little bit, but we don't really have time to mess around. Alright, we should be seeing that peak come out. You see it in the DAD. There it is. And so like I said, down here at 210, but methanol absorbs down here in the HPLC. So we don't really get a true measure. And then you saw the other one right here about 273. We've got a nice peak. I don't know that we have electrophoresis occurring. But this is a shortened capillary, so I expected it to come out fairly quick. But nonetheless, this is the power that you want to see. It should be up to like 16, it should be like 10 to 16 microamps. And we should see at least some kind of wattage. But usually you don't get any elution if the capillary is broken, so it's a little bit of a puzzle for me. I'll let you guys know my status updates. So that's pretty much it. You know, to do the sequence, we come up here under sequence and we get the sequence table. And then here's our table. And so this one is actually, you have to put the method in. This one's for the MEKC run. We just did CZE. And so you do your standards here. The thing is, they need to be calibration, whereas these are samples. Cal level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we had 7, it would be 7. If it was just 3, it would just be 3. And then sample amounts correlate to basically their name, but you have to have those amounts in. If you don't have the amount here, it's not going to do your cal curve. And if we wanted to put more in, you know, we can append a line. If we want to delete it, we can cut that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, and then you change it, okay. Then you save the table, load the table, run the table. Very similar to the GCMS running a sequence, but I don't want 115 students running a sequence on anything but really the CE, maybe HPLC. All right, that should do it. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and we'll see you for the next experiment.